reading family in 21 days. It's possible, but we first need to structure your day and your home, because reading happens within context, and you will be amazed at how many reading opportunities there are on a daily basis. So what we're going to suggest today is suggestions, okay? But we highly suggest that you pay attention to these suggestions, because it's fun ways of structuring your family, involving the home family. It's incredibly important. You need to decide whether you're going to call the very first family meeting a board meeting, a tribe meeting, a pack meeting, whatever kind of a word. Create a game. This is an adventure, and it is an adventure that you as a family are going to survive. But to survive this, there needs to be a little bit of structure to the day. So what I'm going to suggest is you have this meeting with your whole family. Do know that your teenagers are going to go. It's okay, that's normal too. But involve your entire family, because you can only expect people to work together if they've contributed. If they don't contribute, they do not have the privilege of a bed and food and stuff like that. So really, really get together as a family. You see, before we can talk about reading and writing, writing and reading, we need to talk about communication. And communication means to talk and to listen. Maybe it's to listen and to talk. So as a family, you need to sit together and talk and really listen to each other. So we're going to give you an agenda. It's not the best, it's not the only, but it's a suggestion for topics that you can discuss as a family. And the very first thing is start off with and make a list. So obviously if there's an agenda, somebody needs to take notes. Use the teenagers for that. So the first point would be, who likes to eat what? This is very important in terms of your meal planning, because food is going to be fundamental, and meal times are going to be fundamental to the success of your family's ability to work and live together in a confined space for 21 days. What do you really not like eating? So we can avoid that. Which is your favorite, three favorite TV programs? Because you need to schedule TV time. And you need to schedule who holds that remote at that stage. But they're going to pay to hold that remote, but we'll get there later. What needs to happen every day? Now this is a tricky one. So this is going to take time, but that's what we've got. We've got time. So really sit and go through the day. So it means waking up. You need to wake up, you need to make your bed. What happens on a daily basis? You need to wash, you need to get dressed, and then you want to eat. So who must prepare that? So what happens there? So follow your list that we're going to send to you just now. And who's going to prepare it? Who's going to set up the tables? Because we highly recommend that you eat around the table, because those 3 times a day that you eat really creates rhythm to your day. And if you know anything about rhythm, a program, a schedule, gives rhythm. And when there's rhythm, people start working together. People start to work together, to move together. And that's what we want for your families. So go through the whole list of things that need to be done on a daily basis. It is amazing how many things need to be done. And the rubbish needs to be taken out. Washing needs to be done. So who's going to collect it? Who's going to wash it? Who's going to hang it? Who's going to fold it? Who's going to iron it? Who's going to pack it back in the cupboards? Where will you eat your meals? Decide that, because you don't want to argue about everything. You see, the thing is, and that's why we have rules in a home, because a rule lowers the possibility of argument. So when things have been negotiated and it has been agreed, you argue about less. That's what we want. Where are you going to relax? And this is also very important. Everybody needs to identify their own safe space. Where do they go where nobody interrupts them, where they can just be, where they can just relax? It can be under a bed. It can be in a closet if it's a young child. And that's where they choose to go. Make it an adventure. It can be, if you've got space, a person's room. You need to find out, depending on where you live, what can be a safe space for everybody. Who's going to decide that? They need to say what will be a safe space for them. You will be amazed. If you ask preschool teachers for their input, you will be amazed at what they are capable of contributing to this conversation. It's important to say, where are we going to read? So we need to create our library, put all our books in one place, if that is practical. And where will we work and learn? Parents possibly have to work, and children need to learn on a daily basis. So you need to find out, where are we going to do that? Maybe it's the same place where you're going to have your meals, because that is not all day. And then there are lots of other things that you need to discuss. And so you need to think, what else is there that we need to discuss? And maybe you don't do everything during your first tribe meeting. That's okay. You can add to it later. That's the fun of this whole exercise. Once you've got your list, you need to create some kind of a table and say who is going to be responsible for what. Because if you go through that list, you'll actually realize that some people are going to work themselves to death and other people are just going to be passengers. That gravy train is not going to go well. So you need to look at the chores, the jobs, the things that need to happen every day, and discuss who is going to do what. That's incredibly important. And then you need to create, maybe as a family, or maybe just one or two, and the teenagers will be wonderful about it, to do this, is ask them to create a program or a schedule for the day. If there are preschoolers in the house, you need to indicate that with symbols. That is called writing. If there are no preschoolers, you can just write words. But be creative. Use paper plates. Be creative in creating a structure for the day, program for the day. And you can use a peg to indicate where are we in our day for the preschoolers. That the moment you discuss, you are preparing to write, and the moment you have written, well, when you write, you are talking on paper or screen, and when you read, you are actually listening to what has been said before. It's very interesting, and we're going to talk a lot more about this another day. We first want to organize the day and your home for a peaceful, wonderful adventure in the next 21 days.